Amara and Kari grew up together and were inseparable most of their lives. They had promised each other they would be together always. Kari was very protective of Amara, and at times she gets very annoyed at him. On their 30th birthday, they decided to go on a world cruise to celebrate. As the days got closer, they were both excited. One day while shopping, Amara saw a familiar face in the store, and she immediately looked away. Unfortunately, the person headed straight towards her. It was Tara, the one person that could ruin everything for her. She has always created a rift between the couple. They had known each other since kindergarten, but they didn't care for each other. She approached Amara and told her that Kari was with her and her friends the night before. Amara was angry but kept her cool. After the encounter, Amara headed home with the intention of asking Kari about last night but decided to keep quiet. After all, their cruise was tomorrow. The following day Kari was early to pick her up and was quite happy, smiling, and was anxious to go on the cruise. They said their goodbyes and headed to the pier. The ship was beautiful and Amari was also excited and decided to have a great trip. As the grand ship set sail from Southampton, Amara and Kari stood on the deck, gazing out at the horizon. They had dreamed of this world cruise for years, and finally, they were living their dream. But little did they know, fate had other plans. The first few weeks were idyllic. They explored exotic ports, danced under the stars, and rekindled their romance. But as the ship sailed into the vast Pacific, Amara began to feel a growing sense of restlessness. She longed for adventure. Kari was so predictable and sometimes quite boring. She wanted excitement and adventures. She wondered what the future holds for her without Kari. Kari, however, was quite content with the comfort and security of their life together. He wanted to relax and enjoy the journey, not rock the boat. As the days passed, their disagreements grew, and the distance between them became palpable. One fateful night, in the midst of a fierce storm, Amara disappeared. Kari searched frantically, but she was nowhere to be found. He alerted the crew, and a search party was launched. The ship scoured the surrounding waters, but there was no sign of Amara. The captain called in the Coast Guard, and a massive search operation ensued. Helicopters scanned the waves, and rescue boats combed the area. Kari was beside himself with worry, fearing the worst. Days turned into weeks, and the search continued. Kari joined the search parties, scouring the ocean, hoping against hope that Amara would be found alive. But as the weeks turned into months, the search was eventually called off. Kari was left with only his memories of Amara, and the haunting question of what had happened to her. He never found out if she had fallen overboard, been swept away by the storm, or had simply chosen to leave. The uncertainty tormented him, and he was left to pick up the pieces of his shattered heart. Years later, Kari received an anonymous letter, and to his surprise it was from Amara. She told him she was sorry but had to get off the ship. She had exited the ship when it had docked at one of the ports and didn't want to get back on. She was very sad, and she explained what Tara had told her. She felt that she couldn't trust him anymore. She was sorry she hadn't spoken to him about it but left. She was living in another country, and she was doing good and hoped he was as well. Kari was devastated and heartbroken. He loved Amara and swore that he will find her again. Kari would still gaze out at the ocean, wondering if Amara can still love him again after all these years, but he knew his love for her would never change, and he swore he will find her. He wanted the love they had shared, and the dreams they had lost at sea.